Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the product feature webinar. Quite a few people registered today. I think it's the biggest new product webinar we've done. I can see the counter ticking up as people join. So I'll just witter on for a moment while everyone gets themselves signed and situated. So today we're going to be having a look at the new automation and AI features in Tall Emu CRM. I guess I probably want to start off by saying I can see that there is this massive wave coming with AI. Everyone can see it. I don't think anyone really knows where it's going, but I think it's really important for you, for your business, that we collectively get across this and sort of start to put together some AI plans. And I guess the way that I would feel about it and the way that I think about this kind of thing is imagine if you knew sort of 20 years ago, 25 years ago, what the impact of e-commerce would be on the way your business works today. You know, the impact of the internet maybe 30 years ago. I think AI really has this potential. It is definitely going to be changing the world for good and for bad. We don't know how completely as yet. But I think for all of our sakes, we've got to make sure that we are, we're really across this. And so what we're doing in Tall Emu is we're starting to put in some AI features. I don't know whether these are the features that we're always going to have or which direction they'll go. I've been doing this now for quite a while. And one of the things that I've noticed in my professional life is that when I tell a customer something's possible, sometimes they believe me, sometimes they don't. But when I show somebody what's possible, what then tends to happen is they go, haha, the penny drops. They understand it's not just this abstract sort of technological thing anymore. And, most of our customers, they're smart people, they're running a business. They then start to apply the things that we demonstrate to them, to their business and think, well, hey, if it can do that, maybe it can do this. And so I guess that's what I'm hoping for today, to show you sort of the initial set of things that we're doing with AI inside Tall Emu. And a little bit of a talk about maybe where it's going to go and the automation. So we've got half an hour booked today for this particular demo. So I'll start off by sharing my screen so I don't spend half an hour showing you things you can't see. And what I'll do, just a little bit of housekeeping. There's a lot to go through today. If you do want to, you are able to use the Q&A function to ask a question. If I've got time and it's appropriate, I'll answer the question. We will also this time be sending out a survey maybe tomorrow after this webinar. I just think AI is just so important. It really is. And the first question from Andrew, which I will answer, is yes, we will be sharing this recording after the webinar. Rach will take care of that as usual. So AI inside Tall Emu. So I guess our whole focus with AI is about helping you to do two things. First of all, work more quickly and more profitably. I don't believe for a moment the hype around AI that says that AI is going to replace support people and replace salespeople. I think that's rubbish. I think it'll eventually maybe happen, but it's only the big companies that really don't care about their customers where that's going to be practical, where they look at it and they say, well, we've got 2 million customers, and if we replace these 30 people with AI, complaints will go up 6%, revenue will go down 4%, but this will go this way, and they just do the math. I don't think small businesses work quite so cynically. And I don't think that the AI is fully safe enough and at the standard enough where small businesses would be willing to go, you know what, I'm going to go and fire my sales team or my support team. At least if they do, I don't think they'll be in business for very long. But I do believe very strongly that AI and automation can help smart people do an awful lot more. So I've shown this before, so I won't go too far into this detail, but we have our new automation system, where we're able to say, when certain things happen, do this. So for example, when a web form is submitted, send an email, wait till a weekday, wait around, assign it to a team, send an email. So this is actually live now. You can have this. It's live in your system today. It's there. It's ready to be used. One of the things that we can do using AI on my roadmap is to go and say, okay, well, here's a web form. Now, gather up the data that's been submitted on that web form and maybe now use AI to say, well, what's the nature of the customer inquiry? So if the customer is asking, for example, my wife does fabric printing, and one of the things that she'll print is wedding banners. So if the inquiry is related to wedding banners or something like that, select an appropriate email based on the customer intent as a template and send that away. And as you'll see in the rest of my demo, AI is really good, at least I hope you'll see in the rest of my demo. AI is really, really good at understanding intent. I think the other really nice thing that we're working on now with AI is some of you know we have a phone system integration. And so what we can do with the phones is every single phone call into your business can be audio recorded. It can be transcribed, but it can also be summarized in a few lines. So we have this running here at Tall Emu. And one of the things that I'm able to do is I can quickly skim down the list of phone calls and I get things like, Amy spoke to Fred. Fred was interested in the CRM, but is concerned about, the availability of support or something like that. Or in the case of one of our support phone calls, Peter spoke with Jason. Jason was happy with the service, and we did solve the problem straight away. So that kind of summarization AI is very, very good at. And by building that into CRM and automating that, it means that you don't have to go hunting to try and find information about what's going on with the customers. One of the things that we have also started on and resumed our work on is pulling emails more automatically into CRM. And the same kind of thing applies here. If you have an email that's automatically pulled into your CRM, you have your customer phone calls recorded, you have your customer emails recorded. We're also going to integrate the calendar and Teams and Zoom recordings in there as well, and transcriptions. And so you have all of this data about not only your interactions with the customer, but if you're using the CRM to its fullest extent, you've got what they've sold, what you've bought, when you bought it, what price. And this, I think, is an absolute gold mine of data that I want to let you mine and use inside your business. So one of the other things that we have now, we haven't released it yet to customers for safety reasons at this point, is our first draft of an AI assistant. So we called it Emma Emu. It actually drew its own avatar and it named itself. And so the idea here is the goal is to have this thing helping you around CRM. So we're going to start a little bit simply. I can type and I can talk. Those of you who've done a webinar with me before know that I find it very difficult to type, talk, think, and spell at the same time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try this audio button down here. So I could say, for example, to the AI, what's on my plate today? And it submits it to the AI. It goes and has a little hunt in CRM, and fingers crossed. I did say when I announced this that this was either going to be like super impressive or super humiliating. So let's see which way it goes. So at the moment, this is all running on test infrastructure. So it might be a little bit slow. It's not perfect. We're still refining things. But I've got 2 meetings and I've got 2 calls here. So what I could do is I could say 4 o'clock to 4:45. What I could do, sorry, I'll go to my calendar first of all, and we'll go to today, sorry, and we can see we've got those meetings there. So I could now go and I could say, for example, the Brookvale meeting only needs 30 minutes. And hopefully, if the demo gods are kind, what we'll see is it's been updated. And if I now go and refresh my screen, drum roll, it's gone absolutely bonkers. Okay, so I did warn you that some of the things might not work perfectly. That's one of them. So as I say, we're still working on that. I believe that's actually a time zone issue we've been working on. Trust me, that worked yesterday. So okay, not perfect so far. What I could also have a look at is I could say, for example, if I go and find a contact inside here, Jeff Vader. Okay, so let's give this one a go. Hit there. I need a meeting with Jeff Vader tomorrow at 11 a.m. And hopefully it will go and find Jeff Vader and book that meeting for me. So this is just some of the basic stuff. And the idea really, what we're trying to do, okay, I'm going to be honest and let's go and see whether it did it for me. Let's have a look. Oh, you little munchkin. Okay, all of this other stuff I've just been creating via AI. Perfect. It wouldn't be a demo if everything went perfectly. Anyway, so the idea is really to try and make it easy to get data in here. Ultimately, where this ends up is generating quotes. So one of the times I was having some work done on the house and a builder came round. He just spoke into his phone and he was talking about a new roof and he was talking about the guttering and the length of the roof and the house and the pitch and all of that sort of stuff. And I asked him what software he was using, and the answer was voice recorder. So he was recording the notes and then handing it to his wife, who would then go and prepare the quote in the evening. Now, in some of my experimentation, where I wasn't in front of 100 people demonstrating it, I can actually get quotes to go into the CRM just from a simple voice prompt. Not going to try that now. Just no, it's not going to work immediately. But I think you get the idea of where we're going here. So the next thing that we could try is we could ask the CRM about open opportunities. So we could say, I won't type, sorry. I could say, what open opportunities do we have? And it's going to go and give me some answers to that question. So it'll scan the CRM and look for open opportunities. Now we've got work to do around safety. We've got work to do around defaults. So sometimes, for example, if we ask, say, for support tickets, the system should know or infer that we're going to always want the support ticket number and the customer. Other times, like opportunities, we're probably always going to want the value of the opportunity, and we're certainly maybe not going to want things that are closed. So you can see here, it's pulled it all in. I could now say, for example, what's all that worth? And it's going to go and it'll sum it up for me. And then I could say, what opportunities are assigned to Ryan? And it should now go and give me the details of those. And again, more safety things that we have to do are things like making sure we have permissions. So if I say, for example, what's our total invoice value this month? I should have shut up before I click the prompt. Let's see what that'll do. And there we go. So it's given us the invoice value of our work. So I could now say, how does that compare to last month? And this is really, it's not necessarily going to be this voice factor that we're using, but this is just to give you an idea that, excuse me, AI plugged into CRM has just got an awful lot of potential. So let's carry on playing. We've asked how it compares to last month, so I could also ask it who bought last month that hasn't ordered yet this month. And again, it can go and do some search queries. And again, if the demo gods remain kind, this should all work quite neatly. So I'll look at the sales history. This can also work as well with customized things that we'll do in the CRM. And indeed, we can customize the AI parts of CRM as well. So if we've built you some custom structures, those things would be able to be operated also. So a couple of questions. Jay's asking, will the permissions apply to AI as well? So sales staff can't ask for financial information. That's one of the reasons it's not in your hands yet, Jay. Yes, the answer is yes. So the way that we view the AI is that AI is an assistant helping the human. So at the moment in our test system here, what's happening is everything that the AI does, it's basically saying the AI did this, the AI did this, the AI did this. That's not true. I did it. I just asked the AI to do it on my behalf. So inside CRM, we have the ability for it to track who did the work and what did they use to do it. So either the web CRM front end or the Inbox Insights Outlook plugin, the workflow system. So what will happen is if I ask the AI to do something, it will say, Mike did this using AI, and my permissions will ultimately apply. At the moment, I can't release this at all to people because it's absolutely deadly. And you could just say, assign all of the support tickets to Mike, assign all of the invoices to Jay. It's going to go and do it. So we want to be a little careful. And then Peter's asking, can we export the AI response opportunities to a spreadsheet? So yeah, all of the grids inside CRM are exportable. This is just the start. So I've been working on the AI stuff actually since 2023 when I was inside NYOB. I was planning this and playing with this and testing this. So this is just the start. I want to make it, you're going to be able to drag documents in here, drag documents out of here. We were discussing just this afternoon before the meeting, the ability to do AI-driven reports where you could say, this is the data that I want, give me a dashboard. And we're kind of figuring out how we might go and make that available as well. So there's this like enormous capability. If the AI can understand what you want, and then we can make the CRM deliver it. So the idea, the thing that I sort of maybe didn't stress highly enough in my my preamble, is that once I get this to a certain stage where it's safe and it works and it does the basic things that I want it to do, and I go and I hand that to you, Peter, as a customer, you're then going to come back to me and say, hey, Mike, wouldn't it be great if it could do this? And I'm probably going to nod my head excitedly because I just love this stuff. And that's when I think the real innovation is going to happen, when people like yourself and Jay are asking questions and asking me to do other cool stuff with AI. So Andrew has got a couple of questions. So one is talking about the extra data being collected, impact on the server. We're not releasing this until we can make sure that there's no negative impact on the server. And then Andrew's other question is, can we assign who has AI and who doesn't? And the answer is going to be yes. So I'm rest assured, I'm not just going to go to your team and say, here you go, here's a dangerous and fun new toy. Have at it. We're going to make sure that the guardrails are in place, and this will not turn on anybody's system without the business owner giving their say so. So there'll be an admin option that goes and enables this when we release it. Like, this is a very, very sort of super exciting thing, but it's also, with great power, as quote from Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. So we've got a few other bits and pieces that we could do. So I could say, for example, for the customers that didn't buy yet this month, can you draft up an email asking them why? And you can do this in ChatGPT, right? You can draft an email in ChatGPT and you copy and paste it. But the idea here is that I can do this here. It's drafted up my email. It's actually done a fairly good one. So please confirm the email addresses for Bob Smith, blah, blah, blah. You're the CRM, you find the email addresses. So it should have looked those up. So let's go and see whether it responds to sarcasm. Okay, it has. Excellent. So what I could do is I could actually provide an address to Bob. So Bob's email address is bob@example.org. And pop that in there. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get the send email feature ready to actually physically send these emails now. That's about 2 days late. But I mean, I've drafted the email, I found the email address, I found the contacts, I've done it all using voice. I think you can trust me that I can make it send an email. I hope you can. So let's carry on, and we'll just say, no thanks, let's leave that there. So we'll forget that particular topic. So what else can we do? So we can make a meeting. I've showed you that. We could go and set follow-up dates on quotes. So I could say, for example, do I have any quotes that need following up in the next 7 days? and it'll use the quote follow update. It'll go and find those. And I could also ask it about open quotes, or I could have it update that, or I could have it reassign those quotes. So we'll let it do that. So I've got a couple there. So one to follow up, two to follow up. Okay. So I could now go and I could say, let's see if this will work. Assign both of those quotes to Ryan. And that should just go and now assign those quotes both to Ryan. I could also just assign the follow-up to Ryan as well. So all done. So it's done the quote to Ryan, blah, that's nicely done. How I sort of envisage this being used ultimately is like you get to the start of the day, you're asking the CRM what it is you have on your plate, what it is you need to get done. You kind of work with it as if you were sort of talking to a peer or a subordinate or an admin assistant. And what we're going to do is combine the AI with the workflow with these notifications up here, so that you can go to ChatGPT and you can say, hey, remind me tomorrow to do that. And it'll go, yeah, no problem, I'll do that. But of course it can't. Well, we can. So these conversations are going to be resumable. So if I were to say to this, let's pick this up next week, it will remember next week, and next week it will message me and it will go, hey, Mike, next week you wanted to go pick up on those quotes, or you wanted to pick up on this conversation about an email campaign or whatever it was, which I think is really actually super cool. A couple more questions coming in. So Shirag has asked, can the AI print the quote and invoice? Not yet, is the very, very short answer. The longer answer, I'm just going to go over time, and anyone wants to drop off, they can. The longer answer is, at the moment, we can do sort of like the surface level stuff. So, for example, I could say, let's go find a customer. Sourdough Cafe, Tall Emu Cafe. Okay, cool. So, make me a new opportunity for Tall Emu Cafe called new bar fridge and kitchen setup, and it's worth about 50 grand. Now, let's see if this one works. So that should make me a new sales lead. It might not find it actually because of my Pommy accent. Look at that. It may well have actually done that. Let's go and have a look. Nah, that's not done it. Let's just try that again. Tall Emu, Tallemu Cafe. That's just not going to make things better, is it? So as you can see, there's a few little things that we've got to work out. One of them was my accent. I should have just picked another one. All right, let's just try this. Make a new opportunity for Fred's Coffee for a cup. The technology and my mouth are both playing up. All right, let's see what it does with that. Okay, general opportunity. Okay. Add a note to that opportunity saying that it's for a kitchen fit out and it should be worth $20,000. Actually, in fact, update the opportunity value to $20,000. Now, let's see whether that worked. Let's go to opportunities, Fred's Coffee, have a look. And so we've made the opportunity, it's updated the value, and it's added my note. And the cool thing here is that what it's done is it's separated out my note from my interrogation, my request, which I think is super cool. It's one of the real strong capabilities of AI. So we could also do some silly stuff. So I'll show you one that I tried last night. Think of 5 Australian animals and make an opportunity named after each one. And this should just go now and make us a silly opportunity. I actually did it with project. But the point is that you can use this to go and assign tasks or things like that, or create stuff. So it's pretty neat. So we've got kangaroo, koala, platypus, wombat, emu. And if I just go back to my list, bang, 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 there they all are. So we could say, assign all of those to Ryan. And you can see, even when I make like slight linguistic stuff ups, it kind of usually works out what I want. So I usually drive it by typing, but as you can see here, the voice is not too bad. at all. Um, so a few nice little things there that we can do. I'll show you one last thing that I just tried yesterday. So I'll go to Harvey Norman, not in real life because not my favorite shop, and we'll go into beds and bed frames. And what we'll just do is grab that. Oops, come here. Copy that. Um, add these products to CRM and hit the button. Now, how I envisage this working is I don't currently allow the CRM, we haven't built it yet, to go out and interact with third-party websites. But I think what would be really, really cool here is if you could put in your competitors and have the CRM go out and price check. Because we can go out there, we can look at their website, and we don't have to match by part number. We can actually match, if you got like an M8 bolt, an M80 bolt or something like that, their part number could be different to yours. Yours is, M80, theirs is BLT, AD, Galv, whatever. We could actually have the AI work out what's what and match the products and then do price comparisons, which I think would be really cool information to have in the CRM. But not only that, then you'd be able to do other stuff like maybe adjust your pricing or have a report of where where you were under or over. Okay, so it's saying they're being added to Tall Emu. Let's see whether it's telling the truth. Okay, we'll do it. All right. No. Okay. Didn't do it last time. Okay. This time, sorry. Never mind. I think you get the idea. I should have actually just quit while I was remotely ahead on that one. Another quick couple of questions that have come through. Andrew, will this be limited to English only? At the moment, it is explicitly English only. If you ask it something in a foreign language, it will tell you in the foreign language, it only will respond in English. That's subject to review. I know you're based in Thailand looking for that market. Certainly there's no logical reason why we would have to restrict that to English. And Irene is asking, where do I stand on external API requesting info from Tall Emu via the API? I don't have any major philosophical reservations about it, except for I think that there could be a security compliance and server load issue there that I'd have to really think through. I know that Salesforce has recently been in the news. They've locked down Slack and saying, well, you can't have access to your business data via the API, or they're limiting it in some way. Certainly, that's not the way that we want to roll here. This is your data in our system, and we're the custodians of it, not the owner of the data. So yeah, can't do it at the moment, but because we don't have the API available for them. But I don't have any real sort of philosophical no, we would never allow that to occur. So wow, 229. I actually thought we were really going to go massively over time there. That's sort of where we're at with AI right now. The phone system stuff is live. The automation stuff is live. This, as you can see, has a little bit more polish and completion to do. I'm hoping to get this live as soon as possible. So the idea is to get this polished, tested, secured around the permissions and things like that, and then we can start doing an on request rollout to people to go and have a little bit of a play with it. If this has sparked any sort of ideas in you about the sorts of things that you might like in your business, or you've got any other questions, by all means, feel free to reach out to me. This is an area where I just think is existential. So somebody's asking a question now about the Outlook plugin. So that's coming soon. The Outlook plugin is a complete rewrite. I posted about it the other day on LinkedIn. There's a little demo video there. If you want it, just drop me a note. If you haven't seen it, just find me on LinkedIn. You'll see the video. The Outlook, the email, Gmail, the proper working of email, I see as absolutely existential to the future of the product and what we're doing with it, because we really, really need to gather as much of our data in here as we can so that you can work with it. And so the more things that we touch, pull that data in and work with it, I think the better that the system is going to be. A couple more quick questions. Andrew's asking about the Outlook. So sales inbox is also coming. I think Rach sent out a newsletter. I don't have a date yet on the sales inbox. So the sort of order of events at the moment is I've just tested the email BCC. So that will be released. I think it might get out tonight. So that gives you an email you can BCC. Inbox Insights I've got in my email at the moment, and we're going through testing on Outlook. I'm hopeful that that is, under 4 weeks away. It has a big focus on it right now. The sales inbox, we're actually going to be doing prior to the sales inbox, the personal inbox, and then the sales inbox will be coming after it. And I think that realistically, Andrew, is a couple of months away, given the workload, but also the effort that we're trying to put into it to make that right. And then Irene, do I think I'll replace MailChimp? Potentially, yes. Potentially, yes. We will be building in our own email marketing into the system. We've identified a beautiful drag and drop editor, but I think it's also going to be possible to deal with those things using AI as well. Certainly, even while I was an MYOB in the early days, I asked it to draft up a newsletter based on 6 bullet points and then craft me some images, and it was able to do it. So it's just a question of, what capabilities are we going to put in? Jay's asked a sneaky question. So Jay's asking, can it create automations? We were discussing that this morning. So it can't right now. But yeah, you're absolutely right. If I say to the CRM, and this is what I mean by sort of merging it together. So if I say to the CRM every morning at 9 o'clock, I want you to find me open support tickets and email the responsible party if they've been open for more than 9 hours, it could do that. It can, the idea of you verbally saying to the system, this is what I want to happen, and then the CRM working out what it has to do to achieve that is absolutely doable, because the workflow itself is built from quite, it's Lego components, right? You've got a question and do this and a do that. So absolutely, I could draft a workflow, an automation, sorry, using the AI that could build it from the building blocks, which could then execute. Someone's asking about calendar. Yes, apologies. As part of the Inbox Insights build, we're having a calendar sync there as well. We absolutely have to have the calendar sync because we want to be able to do proper meeting invites out of CRM. We want to also get meeting transcripts. And of course, if you're managing your calendar in Gmail or Outlook, the AI is always going to think that you're completely free and available if you are looking inside CRM and that calendar is blank. And then somebody's asking me any other features, oh, excuse me, any other features worth sharing. And I had one until I coughed and lost my concentration, which is really, really annoying. It might come back to me. Sorry, anonymous attendee. Andrew's asking about any MacShip alternatives being integrated to the CRM. I'm sorry, I don't have any new news on that. I think, Andrew, it was, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, there was a client that signed up and he sort of showed me, oh, actually, I know there is one. Sorry, before I forget, new search bar is coming. So the global search bar is coming. It's being designed. It's in build now. I'm hoping to have that out within the next 6 weeks. So that's going to be a little search bar at the top, and it searches the entire CRM to go and find the keywords and returns them in like a sort of a Google style search result. That's been something people have wanted for years. But sorry, back to the MacShip question. a customer was talking to me about email and how important the email integration, more than one customer, actually. I know that Andrew has certainly also had this feeling for quite a while. Other Andrew, sorry, not, it's complicated. I can see who the Andrews are, but I don't want to sort of out people's names. So the other Andrew, he knows who he is, has also been very interested in the sales inbox and the email integration with CRM. I just feel that I've got to get those things done nicely and done right. After talking with a few customers now, it's like, well, it's a little disjointed with email. It really is. And so if we want to say, hey, we're a CRM where we've got that customer data all nicely centralized and then give it to you so you can work with it with the AI and your calendar, we've just got to get that email part right. Um, if you've got customers sending emails into a shared inbox and it's not in CRM and it's not managed nicely, it's like it's a scrum. Um, and so we really just have to do it. And I've put it off for far too long. And so that is my number one priority right now, to get all of that operating. Um, so somebody is asking about automations. So automations help at the moment. You can log a help desk ticket. We can help you with the basics on support. Other things sort of over and above those basics may well verge into consulting. Brett is asking whether or not it will generate labels with QR codes, which actually comes back to the other interesting feature that we've just done. So yes, we can generate labels with QR codes. We're just in the middle of releasing a feature, a reorder label that has a QR code on it. I think it's super cool. I didn't quite get it when it was first proposed to me. But the idea is that you've got this label with a QR code that your customer can stick on their shelf. It's a reorder label. They scan the reorder label, they say how many that they want, it shows them the current price, and they push the button. Absolutely fantastic. Mick, when he suggested that idea to me, did not understand the logic. As soon as I saw this thing working, it's like, that is a clever feature. Andrew is asking about pulling reports and dashboards. So we are doing some work on dashboards at the moment. So we already have inside here a dashboard system. It's quite old. What we're doing is we're updating this to the latest version. And then as part of that, what we're doing is putting the editing tool in here available for the customer. We figured out how to make it all work. The first part of upgrading this to the latest iteration is in progress. I hope it's actually going to be done this week. And then once that's done, we can then go and put in the ability for you to write your own. And then related to that question, there's a second technology that was actually my old desktop product that let you do dynamic reporting. And I'm going to go back and have a look at how that worked and see what we can do about pulling that into CRM as well, particularly in an AI type world where instead of going and clicking and flicking all of these settings, I might simply be able to ask the AI for the info that I want, and then it can go and produce the report. So there's an awful lot of excitement there. Crikey, more questions from anonymous attendee. Other webinars coming up. Help me out here, Rach. There's another webinar coming up next Wednesday. Yeah, thank you. So next Wednesday, there's one sort of hot feature flashback, I think we're calling it, or something like that. So it's just, we didn't do any with, well, for the last 2 years, webinars for new features. So there's lots and lots of things inside CRM that people just don't know about. We just build stuff. We tell the person that wanted it. We tell a few people in conversation. So there's cool stuff that we have in here, useful stuff, powerful stuff. People just don't know. Loads of people don't even know about the phone call integration. So we're doing a flashback webinar next week. And we really want to try and keep doing these things and really sort of tighten up that feedback. The freeform field editing is the last question that I see there, I think. Crikey, one more. Okay. The freeform field editing, we're going to be releasing that sort of soon for the call pop-ups. I've had to just pump the brakes on that while I prioritize email. Again, I just think the email thing in CRM is this just missing link that I've had this blind spot on for so long. that I just really need to address it and make sure all the emails there. Then Nigel's asking, can the email change the pricing type in the customer portal, i.e. retail to wholesale? Um, you can go into the admin integrations and inside there, that's where you configure which price level I think the portal uses. Although, actually, sorry, I might be misspeaking. I do apologize. I'm mixing up with WooCommerce. For the customer portal, the customer sees their own pricing level. Sorry, I do apologize, Nigel. Just to be clear, inside the customer portal, the customer sees whatever pricing level they are on. It's their pricing that they see. So I don't want to mislead you there. Okay, 11 minutes over time. Oh, could we send out another email for the webinar next week? Yes. My anonymous friend, we absolutely can. I'm just glancing over at Rach and she'll make that happen. Okay, well, we've gone a little over time. I'm ready to sit here all day asking questions. Yeah, we've gone a little bit over. We might just make next week's 45 minutes be a bit more realistic. I will point out that you can always press the disconnect button whenever you like, but if I'm just that interesting, you've got to stay around. I don't apologize for that. But look, seriously, thank you all for attending. I hope that you found some value out of the webinar, and it aired more towards the side of impressive rather than humiliating on our new features that we've got coming out. I'm always up for a chat on the AI and the automation features. You got my email address. If not, it's easily discoverable. Yeah, by all means, reach out to me or the team if you want to talk about that any further. So thanks a lot, everyone. We'll leave it there today.